Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to start with a really simple card. I started making cards when I was diagnosed with PTSD. I first started with bullet journaling and then found Jennifer McGuire on YouTube, and it quickly turned into a wonderful habit. Follow along and grab a beverage of your choice, whether it's adult or not, and we'll get started. So right here, I have a piece of Whisper White thick cardstock, which is 110 pound. So the color palette for today are going to be these beautiful colors. We've got cinnamon cider, mint macaroon, Cajun craze, and crumb cake. Now, when you look at those, you're thinking, where is that mint macaroon coming from, Tracy? You have lost your mind. Trust me, it looks great. And it provides a really great backdrop. So the stamp set that we're using today is called Gather Together. And let's see if we can scooch this up just a smidge. There we go. It's called Gather Together, and it's got a really nice maple leaf, some pumpkins, some fields of grain, some sentiments here, some little sprinkle dots, and some really nice things. So when it comes, it's going to come with an acrylic sheet. These are high quality photopolymer stamps. So you just peel off the stamp just like that. Now this stamp has already been conditioned because I've been practicing to make this card for you. But when you first get a stamp and you cling it to your block, it just clings just like that. I like to rub I call it the mucky muck off. All photopolymer stamps come with like a coating on them. So you just want to rub that coating off. There's different ways to do this. I've heard that you can use Versamark ink and stamp it and then wipe the Versamark off. For me, I just take a microfiber towel and just rub and get that coating off and make it to where it's no longer shiny. So we're going to take this mint macaroon. Now when you're stamping, for Stamping 101, you always want to bring your stamp to the ink pad. So this is our acrylic block E. You want to bring this stamp and ink it up really nice. Our ink pads are really nice and juicy. Make sure you get good coverage. And I'm going to bring this down a little. And I'm going to start stamping a little off the page and nice, firm, even pressure. And just in a haphazard movement, start stamping one little guy over here. Let's do the side. And there we go. This is what this looks like. So just some arbitrary stamps. So now on this stamp set, it also came with this little polka dot, little speckles. So I'm going to take the same mint macaroon and this little, it's acrylic block A, and these little speckles, and just fill in some of these little spots where the leaves didn't touch. I think that's good. I wouldn't overdo it. I would just do it enough to just kind of give it a little inkling of sprinkles. And there we go. Looks a little more finished this way. So we're done with mint macaroon. We've got a nice base, a nice background for our photo, for our picture. We're going to take this cinnamon cider And we're going to continue to build our landscape of a nice even impression, always taking your stamp to your ink block and stamp in the middle. Nice even pressure. Come straight up always. One to the right. And one to the left. There we go. Now we're going to start stamping our pumpkins. We're going to stamp those in Cajun Craze, which you think pumpkin, you think you want to do pumpkin pie would be the natural color, but we really want these to be kind of a rustic color, and we really want them to cover up this mint macaroon. And I'm always sticking my fingers in the ink. So we've got two great pumpkin feature stamps here. We've got this one, which is a nice round pumpkin, and then these two little guys. So we're going to stamp them almost to where they're on top of each other. We're using acrylic block B and C, and I always go with the big guy first, and I tuck him right underneath this leaves of grain. Nice even pressure, come straight up. Then I take these little guys and I put them right next to the big guy. Nice even pressure, straight up. And then I take one more big guy and finish off my sequence of pumpkins. Nice even pressure and straight up. So now we've got our pumpkins. Now the Stampin' Blends are alcohol-based markers. They come in light and dark colors for each of our ink colors. This is a, what color is this? This is a light Cajun Craze and a dark Cajun Craze. And the great part about these is that you can blend them. You can use with any dye ink, and they have two different nibs. One is more of a swath nib, I guess is the word for it. It's more of a big swath type nib covering more area. I think I just messed that up. I did. And then one is a more detailed nib for detailing little areas. And they just blend together so easily, creating a lot of dimension wherever you're needing it. So for these pumpkins, for ease of card use, because again, we're beginners here and we want to make this an easy card, we're using light Cajun Craze in the swath tip, and we're just going all over these pumpkins, just creating a nice base of color. Obviously, we need some sort of surface for our pumpkins and leaves of grain to live off of. We're also going to color the stems dark crumb cake for some continuity of color. And then we're going to take that dark Cajun Craze in the nib style, and we're just going to trace those pumpkin lines, giving it nice dimension. So we're done with our Cajun Craze. We're going to grab our crumb cake, and here's a little piece of crumb cake scratch piece of paper, and we're going to find our crumb cake. This is acrylic block G, and the great part about our acrylic blocks is that you can see through them. And for this one, this says, "So glad to have you in my life." So we definitely want to make sure that that's inked up nice and dark. We're gonna ink it nice here in the corner so that we can only have to cut it a little bit. We're gonna go straight down so we don't have any blurry words. Nice even pressure across the entire length of the sentiment. And then we're gonna go straight up. Boop. You can also trim this out with your scissors. It's easy to do. For me, I'm not so good with my scissors, I'll be honest. So I am easier with a paper trimmer. So I like to have it, except for this one didn't turn out so straight. There we go. Now we're straight. So one of the other items that is just essential for kind of a top 10 need to have in your stash are these dimensionals. These are ways to raise up your sentiments and make them pop when you send them through the mail. And so you always want to make sure you have enough on here so that they don't sag when they go through the mail. So I put at least 3 to 4 on my sentiments. You can also use these great foam adhesive strips and cut them to the size of your sentiment. Those are great. So this one right here, I'm going to use my T-ruler because I stink at getting things straight. Let's move this out of the way. Hold this T-ruler, and first of all, I'm going to make sure it's correct direction, and then I'm going to line it up right there. So glad to have you in my life. Right like that. What do you think? Now the key is to get it trimmed down now that you've gotten this cute card onto a card base. Here is a 5.5 by 4 1/4 landscape card base out of thick Whisper White 110-pound cardstock. And we're going to trim this guy down using our paper trimmer. There we go. You always want to create an even space of common margins. Thank you, Kathy Zilski, for teaching me that wonderful trick. And you want to create a common space of common margins. So we're going to take our Tombow mono liquid glue adhesive, which is available over on my site. I'll give you the links below. And just take it and a little dab will do. You did it. Your first easy peasy, no equipment needed fall card. So what do you think? I think you guys did a great job. I think everybody wants to be, you know, Jennifer McGuire on the first try, and unfortunately, we're not Jennifer McGuire. She's had years and years and years and years of training. So let's start where we're comfortable, and this is totally adorable and cute, and I would be honored to send this to any of my friends and family. All came from one stamp set, the Gathered Together stamp set. So again, all the links down below, and I can't wait to see you again soon.